All right, good morning and welcome everyone to our This or That series. It's a subset of our Backpack to Briefcase episodes that we've done in the past. And this episode is designed to help students get an understanding of what the similarities and differences are between human resources and operations. And today we're pleased to welcome Brad Whitesides and Amberly Carter. They're both from OC Tanner. Brad is currently the Director of Employee Experience, and Amberly is a Logistics and Operations Manager. And my name is Valerie Reese, and I'm a career specialist here at the Huntsman School of Business. And after I share a little bit of bios from both Brad and Amberly, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to them so that they can talk with us about HR and operations. So Brad Whitesides is the Director of Employee Experience, as I mentioned. He brings nearly 20 years of expertise in talent acquisition and HR, distinguished by his passion for uplifting others and fostering fulfilling career paths. He's also known for his ability to inspire and energize those around him. Brad is dedicated to creating work peak experiences at work that empower individuals to achieve their professional best. Brad's deep seated belief in the potential of each person he encounters makes him a transformative force in the HR landscape. Amberly leads the shipping and receiving teams at OC Tanner's Award Distribution Center. She oversees the handling of approximately 8,000 packages a day and ensures timely delivery to clients across the globe. Amberly empowers her team through her advances in areas such as team member development, motivation, adaptability, and fostering a growth mindset. In addition to her role at OC Tanner, she is the Young Professionals Chair on the CSCMP Utah Idaho Roundtable. Amberly graduated from Weber State University with a bachelor's degree in supply chain management and is committed to driving continuous improvement within her teams and organization. So, welcome, Brad and Amberly. We're so excited. I'll go ahead and turn the time over to you now.
Thanks, Valerie.
Yep.
It's great to be here. When Amberly and I got asked to do this, we were so excited. We jumped at it. Anytime we can talk to the students, it is so fun. So our goal today, we want to tell you a little bit about our company, OC Tanner, maybe a little more backstory on ourselves, and then just what we do day to day, and hopefully be a little bit of a guide and a resource to you as you look to jump into where you're going to go with your studies and with your careers.
Looking forward to it.
So OC Tanner, we are in Salt Lake City. We've been here for 97 years. And so we've been around a long time. A lot of people, they know us, but sometimes they don't know us for all the things that we do. So I have just a couple of slides to give us a little bit of a picture of what OC Tanner does. Here's a quick, well, we already got our titles, but also our email addresses. It's important. We want you to reach out to us. So at the end of today's call, if you're curious to learn more, we would love for you to hit us up, find us on LinkedIn or send us an email, and we'd love to talk.
Absolutely.
Okay, so OC Tanner, we are an employee recognition company. As people ask me, what does that mean? A lot of times I'll say, well, where have you worked and did you like your job and why? So companies come to us because they want our help in building a better place for their workers. Maybe it's we want to increase our culture. We want to make sure we improve our tenure. So we partner with companies to help them with their employee recognition. Now, how we got started was with our jewelry store and with our pins and rings and emblems, helping employers give things to their employees and make sure they know that they're valued. So we do have a jewelry store. We have one downtown Salt Lake City. We also have one in Park City. And a lot of folks from Utah know us as jewelers. And now we still have these jewelry stores. They're amazing. And because it's timely, we still do a lot with the Olympics. So the Olympics just finished. And we still, since 2000, we donate rings to every U.S. Olympian. In 2002, we were pretty excited that we designed and handcrafted the medals as well. But yeah, every time we have the Olympics, you see them wearing their rings, just know that OC Tanner helped design and craft those rings. It's pretty fun for us. It's great for the athletes to feel how important it is to kind of receive that as a reward for all their hard work. couple other things that OC Tanner is known for. We still produce and manufacture every day. And that's why it's so fun to have Amberly here, because this is what she does. And she works with amazing people that help us produce and fulfill and ship many, many products. A lot of our clients come to us also because they say, will you please explain, how do you help with your workplace culture? So we get on a lot of lists. So there in the middle, it says we're honored by the Trib as a great place for outstanding company culture. We continually strive to make sure that our culture in our workplace is one that's inviting and one that employees want to be at and stay at, and where they can thrive. We typically talk about how we help people thrive at work. And the last thing that is here on the slide is the Global Culture Report. So we have a research team led by PhD researchers that are kind of giving us the why behind recognition. This is what happens when you treat your employees well. This is what will happen if you'll invest in your employees. And so employers will come to us and say, can you help us understand why we should do more? So it's been a great place to work for me. I've been here 5 years and it has gone by so fast. It's so fun. We're continuing to tackle some wonderful things. And so yeah, I want to give Amberly a chance to maybe tell us what she does. Then I want to tell you what I do as well. So Amberly, why don't we go there? Why don't you give us a backstory of how long have you been here? And what you do?
Yeah, so I've been at OC Tanner just over 3 years now. We just had my 3-year anniversary in May, which was so fun. And I, as was mentioned in my bio, I got a degree from Weber State University. There, I was paired with a mentor in supply chain and operations. And I actually had a great uncle that worked at OC Tanner. And I said, I'm getting into this world, and I had no idea that he did supply chain. And so I hopped in with him, and he showed me around OC Tanner, and I actually got to take one of the official tours that OC Tanner offers, and I fell in love. And I thought, if I'm going to go into operations, this is the place I've got to be. So I've been here 3 years and planning on being here a long time more, for sure.
When you were first studying at Weber State, did you know what operations was?
Oh my gosh, no. Actually, I got into operations because I was coming into school and I had this idea of being an elementary teacher my whole life, and life disrupted, and I was like, I think I can do something more. And so I went in to the business school and I was talking to the advisor, and his words were, "You sound like a supply chain management major that doesn't know it yet." I thought this was pre-COVID, this was pre-2020, before the world kind of learned what supply chain management was. And so I just went totally over my head. I was picturing just a factory assembly line and being in charge of that. And, maybe to a long extent, that's kind of what I do. But no, it's very, very fun. And I love the balance between people and data. And it's been a really, really good fit for me. And my advisor was right all along.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of interesting. We didn't plan this, but I also went to Weber State. And so I didn't know what I wanted to study, but someone once told me, oh, you should go into business. So I looked up the different career paths and I saw business management, business administration. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? I want to manage people. I'm a people person. So I got started, and it's very broad, and there's so many places you can go with it. And so now I've been here at OC Tanner for 5 years, but really my background is in recruiting. I love helping people find opportunities. Recruiting falls underneath HR. And so I continue to have a lot of fun working with our recruiting team, helping them identify and hire great talent. The other avenues that I work with the other groups is learning and development. So once our employees are hired, a lot of the employees say, okay, I love it here, but I want to have a career path. I want to see what's next for me. So we have a learning and development team that helps do that. We also have internal communications. So we're always trying to make sure that we're staying on brand and we're communicating with our employees what's going on. And lastly, the group that I hang out with is events. So we like to try and host lots of fun interdepartmental activities that really help you get to know one another and just have a good time here at work. So we were prompted with a few questions. What are we talking about today? So as you begin your journey in school, you might not know what you want to do. And today we're talking about, should I go into operations? Should I go into HR? What's the difference? How are they similar? And I I often liken this group that I'm talking to. I have a daughter who is a freshman at Utah State. So she and I have talked a lot about this. And that last bullet point was stressing her out. It says, what if I pick the wrong major and no one will hire me? So I keep telling her, and I tell anyone that's worried about this question, is a lot of employers, they want to see your passion. They want to see that you chose something you followed through, but it doesn't put you down a path that you can't pivot from. So you may change your major 2 or 3 times. You may change a career 2 or 3 times. So I would say, don't stress that, oh my word, what have I done? I'm in the wrong spot. We hire so many people in a variety of departments, not based on their major, but based on what they can do and what they offer. So Amberly, we're going to go through and answer some of these questions. What career paths can students pursue with a degree in operations and or human resources? So the first thing I want to ask is, what are the similarities between what Amberly does and between what I do, or maybe between what our departments do? So Amberly, do you want to talk about how often you interact with people?
Absolutely. Like I said, I love supply chain because it really is people and the numbers. And 80-90% of my day is interacting with people. I happen to manage, as was mentioned, our shipping and receiving teams. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later in the presentation, but that is constant mentorship. I am asked to coach them at least monthly, maybe twice monthly. And that equals 2 to 3 coaching conversations a week. And there is constant interaction. We have, and I'm excited to show you more, constant huddles where we're working with other teams across the company, trying to make sure that everything is planned. We have somewhere around 250, 300 manufacturing team members, and coordinating, 35 teams on a daily basis to make sure that the work goes out the door in the right way is hugely people-centric. And obviously Brad's team supports me in that. And, if there's anything kind of more detailed that I'm like, hey, I need some support here. But it's hugely people-centric. And every single day I'm working on improving my communication skills so that I can work better with people.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks, when you think of HR, you're like, oh yeah, that's where you deal with the people. But in operations, Amberly deals with more people than I do. So it's so important. And that's why I put this slide up, that we are united by our purpose and our values. So these are some of the values, and every company you're going to work for should have these values. And as you're researching the companies you want to work for, make sure they fit with what motivates you and drives you. It sure matters when the company you work for feels the same way about you do, about what's important in your life. So yeah, there's so many similarities between the 2 departments, and people is the main, kind of the main goal and the heart of what we're doing. Okay, what about what's the difference? So you have human resources and you have operations. For us here at OC Tanner, we call human resources people and great work. So we've tried to rebrand ourselves a little bit because we want to feel like we're here to help. Historically, sometimes HR gets a scary reputation that we are the rule makers and we're the discipline, but really my goal is employee experience. I want it to be a really inviting and fun department. So this slide just helps you maybe see the difference where HR, people in great work, we look at the big picture and we try and say, what are some of the fun things that we can help organize and maybe some of the guidelines that we can establish. But really, Amberly is much more maybe zoomed in, and they're actually the ones making it happen.
Yeah, maybe a good example of that is a team member that is sick, is really sick, is in the hospital for a couple of weeks, might need to take some sick leave, or I have rules that are set in place from my from the people in great work team that support me and help me with that. But it's me that goes in and has those conversations with the team members and supports them and asks when they're going to be back to work and figures out how that's going to work for the team. And so I get to deal with it on the individual level. And then if I need support from the people in great work team, they're there to support. And so you guys really do impact that macro across the whole company, and every single group leader or manager is going to you to look for that support with the micro problems that we deal with, but you guys on a macro level.
The important part is the collaboration between the two.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't do it without them. They could probably do it without us, but it's important that we work together so that we're on the same page and we know what's happening. But it's so helpful when you can trust leaders across the company that are also working toward the same goal of taking care of our people. Another difference that I thought was interesting was time. And I put time up here just because I remember myself being in college and in an interview, someone said, "Why do you want to go into management?" And I said, "I'm a people person and I want to manage people." We very rarely hire someone and put them right into leadership. And so I'm thinking of my career. It probably was 7 years after I graduated before I became a people leader. Um, and I don't know if that was unique to me, but I also wanted to share Amberly's experience. How soon after graduation did you have direct reports?
Mine was not 7 years, but it did take some time. I had gone in, I had never professionally been in leadership, although I had, different club experiences and leadership experiences elsewhere. But it did take, I started at OC Tanner in our logistics team, where I was working every day with our freight buyers and with our freight vendors, and worked with UPS, FedEx, and buying freight, and kind of supported in more of an analyst type role. And then there was a need in the actual shipping teams where they said, we really need to coordinate. We'd love to take somebody that has management experience and bring them downstairs. And I said, I don't have any formal, professional management experience, but I think I'm made to lead. I think I'm made to do this. I'd love the opportunity to do so. And they gave me the opportunity, and it's been wonderful. So I was about a year and a half out from graduation. But I would say that I was really grateful for the time that I wasn't in management, because it's just, it's foundational. It's kind of those points of you have to be willing to do the things that your team is doing in order to lead them, and just to be able to come to a team and say, okay, I've been where you are, I've done what you've done, was foundational. Or even if it's not the exact same thing, that you've done the grunt work before, and then you're helping and supporting them on the front lines is really powerful as a leader.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times that if you want to be a people leader, operations, you get there faster and you can make a difference quicker. So it's I don't think people always think of that. Like, wow, okay, that's good to know. That's good to be aware. We've hired a few right out of the school leaders, and we've put them over a team fairly quickly. In Amberly's case, I remember that I was watching from afar, but they needed a leader. And this is where you need a performer. You need someone who can motivate people. Maybe you're a leader, but you don't have direct leadership, direct reports. But there's a way where you can get yourself ready. And so, yeah, it was a no-brainer when Amberly had that opportunity. Like that was a good call.
Awesome. And we manage a lot smaller teams, I find. Most good companies in operations are, I have 2 teams of 6, so I manage 12 people. And we really try not to go beyond like the 20-ish mark of how many people you're managing. And we like to keep it small because you have to. And so that means that there's also, there's room for more leaders, because you want to manage those individual line workers.
Yeah, I have 4 direct reports. Amberly has 12.
And that's small for us.
Yeah. But it's good for you to be aware that that's a reality. I have some, some of the reports that I have reports, but still my group is not as large as Amberly's. So pros and cons, I guess, if that's what you want. Now, what comes with that is we say coaching. We do a lot of one-to-ones, and we expect our leaders to meet with their people. They're talking goals. They're talking how are things. You should know your people fairly well. You should know how their families are. And so that takes time to do 12. How often? Monthly?
Yeah, at a minimum.
Yeah. So some of our teams that have 20 direct reports, that's a lot of one-to-ones. It's a lot of coaching, but it's so valuable, so needed.
Absolutely.
Okay. If I were to be helpful to show you, when you say I'm going into operations, what does that look like? What does that mean? So I'm going to let Amberly talk to this slide.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So I'm going to start by drawing your attention to the graphic in the upper right-hand corner, because for me, this is kind of the spine of my day. I come in at 6 a.m. with my teams, and we are in a 6 a.m. huddle with the frontline team saying, all right, who's here today? Who called in sick? Who's available to work, and where's the work? What's the planner look like? And where can we align the people and the resources with the work that's coming in on the line? About 6:30, I huddle so after I've huddled with the teams, I huddle with the greater group that's just in distribution, because I'm in our distribution kind of value stream of the 3 manufacturing value streams. And we huddle together and say, okay, this person's short. They have a ton of work today. We need to coordinate. And we do a lot of coordination at 6:30. And then we open that up, and at a 6:50, we're coordinating with across 3 value streams. And every person that's in operations is saying, hey, I wasn't able to get help from my own, value stream. So let's hop in and grab help from this team member that's cross-trained over here. And then at 8 o'clock or 8:15, I'm usually collaborating, or my fellow managers are collaborating with our director, giving them the updates. They're in for the day. They know what's going on. And then they take that to senior leadership at the 8:30 and the 8:45 huddles. And then at 2:20, we're huddling with the night shift because they're coming in after our day's already done. And we're saying, hey, this is what we were able to accomplish today. And then they go through kind of a similar process. And then it starts all over again the next day. So this kind of becomes, and this isn't replicated absolutely everywhere, but you'll probably find some sort of huddle or informing system, no matter what operations role you go into, because there's a lot of alignment that has to happen to make sure everything goes out the door when it needs to. And that alignment generally has to happen on a daily basis. So that's a lot of the process management that I've mentioned on the top bullet point there. Making sure that your teams are doing what they have to, but also making sure that you're giving the resources and allocating where they need to. There's a lot of team coordination. Where does my team member need to be today? Are they a new team member? Do they need to be trained in a certain area? Do I need to make sure they're with the trainer? Oh, this person's got a doctor's appointment. Who can fill in? Who can reach and stretch? And we have to be comfortable with not perfection, for sure. Nothing runs smoothly every day. It's been touched on, but building team culture and mentoring is so big. We hold weekly team meetings. And then those team huddles are really big for team culture. And then just daily support. If you're not doing a monthly coaching, then hopefully you're doing something that supports the team in some way. And generally that looks like team activities, maybe once or twice a year, getting everybody together and rallying them around things, bringing them to company meetings, and supporting people during their hard times and filling in when needed. There's a lot of troubleshooting. For my day, I would say that it's very easy to split my urgent and my important. There's a lot of really urgent things that happen that, okay, this order is going to this really big client and we need to get it out the door ASAP. That's something that is maybe small and I deal with it every day, but the big picture is like, why is this on fire? How can I make sure it's not on fire in the future? Right. And so I have to set some more strategic goals to maybe go back and fix root causes and manage that in the long term so that I can put out fires before they even start. And then aside from that, the really, really basics kind of comes to this reporting idea. Alignment is just so crucial in operations. There's a lot of reporting that we do. We're constantly keeping an eye on safety, the quality of our products that we're shipping out, efficiency, right? How many pieces can I pump out in an hour? And what team lineup makes our team more efficient? And what team projects can we work on to make our teams even more efficient? And then the last one is delivery, right? Every single product that we produce has a due date. And are we hitting those due dates and getting them on time to our clients? And all of that is circled in this idea of continuous improvement that seriously to this day is the number one reason I'm at OC Tanner, but is also the number one reason I'm in operations, is because most roles that you're in are going to find, no matter what company you're for, is going to have a focus on continuous improvement, because there are little ideas that make companies better every single day when you're focusing and spending time to make the team better, make your process better, and make the company better. So that is a really high level overview of what my day looks like. But I have a blast doing it. It's so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we hire, currently we hire every 2 weeks, and we bring in new hires and we tell them, you have a fresh perspective on what we're doing. Please be curious, raise your hand, ask why. And it's fascinating. 97 years later, there's still so much that we can improve. And every day we do. And we ask new hires, what have you found? What did you like? What was weird? And so we would encourage everyone in the company, let's always try and keep getting better. And you can. There's so much to do. So it's so fun to see. Okay, if you want to learn more, here's Amberly. She's also a movie star. We have a fun YouTube channel that's called The Factory Floor. There's lots of episodes. I say lots. I don't know how many.
Yeah. It's
dozen?
actually quite a few. No,
Yeah.
it's way more than a dozen.
Okay.
It's over 100.
So if you want to know what is it like to be in operations, now we offer lots of tours if you wanted to hit us up and come in for a tour. But if you can't, maybe you're in Logan, it's too far away. Go to our YouTube channel and you can see exactly what it would be like for me to be on the factory floor. It's been really fun. It's fun for people to get a peek at what's going on, behind our doors. Okay, what does HR look like? So I wanted just to show you the different disciplines that sit within HR. A lot of people think HR, and you might think employee relations. You might think benefits. So I just got the different bullets of what our team looks like and who they might be. Recruiting, learning and development, benefits, wellness, employee relations, events and recognition, safety and security. It's a very fun group. We're not scary. I continually try and remind everyone, like, let's be approachable. Let's make sure that we're supportive. We wouldn't exist without Amberly and her team. So we're really just here to support and make their lives easier. Hopefully, that's the goal. We do hire. We do have some rules. We do help people transition away. So it's kind of fun here. We retire about 25 people a year. So they've made their career with us, and it's so fun to see the reward of you're done and now go enjoy your retirement. So those are my best transitions. Once in a while, someone will leave, and it's a little bit sad. And it might be that it wasn't a fit because we didn't do a good job of maybe the way we marketed the position, or we didn't show them what it was going to be like in that they had to work when they got here. So we have a lot of fun, but you do work hard. And so I think most employers, they're so excited to meet you, but just know that, they expect you to show up and put in a good day's work. So anyway, that's a little bit of HR. But also I wanted to show you where our people are. So we have 1,200 people in Salt Lake City. And as one of the questions was, what opportunities do I have going into ops, going into HR? I wanted you to see the breakdown of what departments are the largest and which ones were smaller. So I would probably say that the larger the department, the more opportunity, the more often we're hiring in those roles. So our HR team, and that includes an on-site cafe that we have, is about 30. So it's not humongous. We don't hire a lot on our HR team. But in operations, we do. We hire a lot. There's a lot of opportunity. And this is why Amberly gets to lead so many people, because it's a big group. Finance, 30. Our technology teams, that would be your IT, your software engineers. It's a large group. We have about 250. Client success is customer service. So we actually hire probably the most recent right out of school students into our client success teams. These are career positions. So you don't just come in and say, I want to get my foot in the door. You can really come in and make a difference. Clients that are working with us are really large enterprise level clients, and they want you to be a part of their team. And they love it when you stay with them for years and years. So it's become more of a career. You're coaching that client, and it's pretty rewarding. And you can see marketing, international, security, sales, housekeeping, and we do have our jewelry stores. I didn't mention on international, we do have 6 other locations. This is our headquarters, Salt Lake City, but we are also in Canada, the UK, Australia, Singapore, and India, and continues to grow. And what's interesting is the idea of recognition. And there are some countries that have really grasped onto it, and others that are emerging. They're coming out of those to really understand it. And so we will continue to have success internationally as some of these countries continue to build what is recognition. So I would say, as you go into your studies, don't just be too focused on maybe one area. Don't be afraid to go through that door of an opportunity that you didn't really think was available. A lot can happen. And really let's see this. Oh yeah. So as people join us, this is part of learning and development. We want you to feel like you have a career, and there's going to be growth and progression. And so most companies have something like this, where we have these career paths or job pathways established, and there's usually different levels. So as you come in, you don't have a ton of experience, and so it's entry level. Learn your role really well, and you might quickly advance. Sometimes it's timing, and the organization has a need. It might be you're amazing and you've checked all the boxes, but they just don't need another manager right now. So don't be discouraged by that. Sometimes it works out where you get lucky and you fall into an opportunity, and right place, right time. It happens. One thing that was interesting, we noticed in our tech teams is sometimes it feels like the only way to advancement is to be a leader or be a manager. And that's not the case. If you know that leadership's not for you, you can have a successful career and be an individual contributor. So just know that, don't feel like you have to go down a role that you're not going to be good at. We've identified that some people are great where they are. We don't have to move them in order for them to have advancement and growth. So these are things that maybe be aware of as you start to look at your career and what you want to do. Is does this exist at the organization? And do you feel like there's advancement, there's movement? Our goal is for people to stay here and feel like they have a career and they're loving it. But some people want to move faster, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes they want to go conquer the world and try a startup, and those are really fun and you can learn a lot. But they can be scary too. So it's good. It's good to learn and be aware. Okay, so we're kind of wrapping up a little bit, but I wanted to make sure you knew, okay, what can I do as a student? And I'm early in my studies. Maybe I'm only a freshman, maybe I'm a sophomore. Doesn't matter what I do now. So I thought I'd start with, first of all, of just seek advice. Amberly talked to someone early on that said, you sound like a supply chain major without knowing, and so find a mentor, go ask someone. You could even ask us. We're happy to answer or give advice, give guidance. I think it's so valuable and sometimes an untapped resource. How did you find your mentor or mentors? Who did you go to?
Yeah, I was actually fortunate. Our program did a mentor matching event, which was wonderful. They had our board and then any other, leaders that wanted to join. And they were able to hop on, and we did like a speed dating little roundtable event. But it was because I had known OC Tanner and I had already been interested that I said, I don't just want any mentor, because you kind of got to request who your mentor was and they kind of got to request who their mentee was. And, you can choose your top 3. And I was like, I want Mike. I really want Mike Erickson, because he was working at OC Tanner. And had I not, he wouldn't have come to me a year later and said, hey, we've got an opening. Would you like to apply? And so I would say for me, saying yes, like I had to say yes to be part of the club that had that. And then I had to say yes to go to this event. And it meant taking time off of my day job. And, we made it work. And then it meant saying yes to having a mentor and actually meeting with them regularly. Saying yes to all of these opportunities is really kind of what helped propel me personally, and build that network, right? As we go into the next bullet point. I think I always pictured networking as like, okay, let me just touch as many people as I possibly can. And I just will say that I've met this person. And it's so much more than that. You actually have to gain relationships. And you have to gain, this person, not just their name, but they know your name. And as you build relationships at different events or throughout your career is what true networking is, when you unlock the true power, right, of networking. So
a lot of students will, for some reason, they think they need to wait until they're a junior, they're a senior. We don't have a rule that says you have to be a senior to have an internship, or that you have to be a senior before you reach out just for let me learn more about you. So I would say build out your LinkedIn network right now. Do you have it? Do you have a profile? Is it set up? What is your personal brand? So there's a lot of employers, they'll be curious about you before they hire you, and they might do some research on you. So they might see who you're connected to, or they might find out from your professor, how hard of a worker was she on this group project? Maybe one of your peers might be the one that's referring you. So you never know what and who is going to be an asset, or like, oh man, I should have done a little bit better there because that's going to hurt my brand. I remember being in college and the career fair came up and I was like, I might go. And I walked through casually and I talked to one employer, and that's the one employer that gave me a job. So I would say, talk to every single one. You never know. Even that company, you're like, I've never heard of them. They could be amazing and they could offer you what you need. So don't be afraid, be brave, be curious, raise your hand, ask questions, and just go and meet and talk to people. The last bullet point we have there is site visits and tours. We love it when students want to come and check us out. So it happens a lot. We do a lot of tours here because we have a unique setup where we produce and we have a manufacturing floor, but also we have, we have HR and finance and marketing. And so it's fun to kind of come and see how all those pieces work together here. We're a pretty interesting place to come and check out. So Yes, we do lots of tours. If you're curious, you're welcome to hit us up, and we would love to show you around. But internships are really important. We just are finishing our summer internship group here. Most companies love to host interns. So start this fall looking for your internship for next summer. And it's okay that you're a freshman or a sophomore or a junior. I think it's so important. And get a couple internships under your belt. And then you'll have an idea of maybe what you want to do and what don't you want to do.
And I would even add to that. We talked about personal brand a little bit, and that personal, connection. I always felt like, at least as a student, that my personal brand had to be like this very professional version of me. But as I'm on the other side, getting LinkedIn messages and things, it's like the generic like Chat GPT reach out that I'm like, oh, like, okay, yeah, sure, like happy to help. But like somebody that's genuine and says, hey, you seem to have the same values of me. Look, we volunteered at the same spot. Like we've done, this together. Like those personal connections. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person seems so cool. And I would even go to say that I would even on my end push to say, hey, I really think that we need interns because I'm talking to these 3 students and they would all be awesome at OC Tanner. If I don't start recruiting them now, they're going to go to someone else. So I want to bring them in for an internship, show them how cool we are, and hopefully get them to stay, right? Because so building those networks and building those peers within your industry is just like, it's like a little key that just unlocks, and build those relationships. But please be you. Please do not be some Chat GPT professional version of yourself that doesn't really exist, because none of us are like that either in the real world. So please come, please be you, please join us. We want awesome talent as much as you want to work for an awesome company. And so growing yourself and being someone that we would want to hire is all it takes. And I think you guys are getting a quality education and you're on your way there. But saying yes to as many opportunities as you can isn't going to hurt.
It's interesting how often we hire someone, maybe an intern, maybe a full-time person, prior to the posting being out there. It's because the connection was made.
Yeah.
The hiring leader knows the quality of that person, and then they come to us and say, hey, I want to hire Amberly. We're like, we haven't even posted it yet. It's so important to network before. So don't wait for that posting to show up. If you know you want to work at a company, seek those leaders out.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions. Ask if you can come in and for an informational interview. It's so helpful. So we do this. We talk to a lot of students, and the ones that do a little bit more work, those are the ones that they almost just success falls in their lap. So it's there's so many opportunity. The timing is great. Your university that you're at is great. Like your decision to go to Utah State is wonderful. We love the connection that OC Tanner has with our Aggie friends in Logan. So we're so excited to see what comes of this. We hope this has been helpful. It's so fun for Amberly to get in front of students and talk. So let's make sure this is not the last time you talk to us. We would really love you to reach out and follow up and come and talk to us, in person, or we'll be up there to career fair in no time.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to end with, Amberly?
No, just either way, you can't lose. Human resources is awesome. Going into people and the great work they do is wonderful. And I could recommend supply chain management all day. There's people and there's numbers in business, and that's just what business is. So if you're intrigued, hop in. You can't go wrong. And get in a company, and then if you don't find maybe the exact spot, there are opportunities, I guess, even within OC Tanner, right? If I wanted to say, hey, Brad, I'm sick of operations. I want to be in the Oval Office. No, just kidding. I want to be out here in these offices with you guys. You'd be like, oh yeah, let's look for a mentor opportunity. So please don't feel stuck. Please don't feel like someone's not going to hire you, or you're never stuck. You control your own path. And I'd encourage you to continue to believe that, and you're going to end up exactly just where you want to be.
Well, so thanks so much for watching this and for getting to know us a little bit. There are some amazing companies out there. There are some amazing talent out there. It's exciting. Kind of the world we live in right now. There's just opportunity. So thank you for watching, and good luck to you. Can't wait to bump into you next time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Brad and Amberly. I feel like this was a treasure trove of information. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Good.
Found myself actually taking copious amounts of notes.
Oh,
I love the tips of internships. That's something we tell students regularly. Do them early, do them often. And I really liked your suggestion, Amberly, for when you're networking to choose, like to identify something that you have in common to demonstrate kind of that level of interest and not just the generic request, right? And having been in recruiting, Brad, are there any other tips that you would give students as they interact with recruiters?
Yeah, I think a lot of times students are afraid to follow up, and recruiting expects it. So as soon as you apply, as soon as you interview, I mean, please leave the interview saying, when can I expect to follow up? And then follow up. And you don't hear from them, it's okay to bug them. Recruiting expects it, and you don't offend us. So just keep bugging. And sometimes a hiring leader, they're like, wow, she really wants it.
Yeah,
And that doesn't hurt you. That helps. So
absolutely.
I think it's okay to kind of just stay on top of it and be organized.
We hired in logistics just a year ago, and that was one of the number one things that set our top candidate apart was that she followed up. She like even reached out to me on LinkedIn, and we had like an hour phone call separate from any interview, because she was just so determined to make sure that she had a good understanding of the role, but also was putting her best foot forward, and it definitely made her stand out. So the more work, the better. We're always looking for somebody that's eager, and when you show that, you're usually not gonna go astray.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we find we're constantly encouraging students to follow up. Yeah, so I'm glad they get to hear it from you as well.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, awesome. Last thing before we go, I'm just going to throw up a quick announcement here for our students so that they'll remember to check out the Huntsman calendar to see events. When the expo is coming up, it'll be September 20th. And also check the calendar. OC Tanner does make campus visits, info sessions and such. So, oh, and last question I had, are you okay if students reach out to you all via LinkedIn as well, or do you prefer email?
No, I love LinkedIn.
Both is great.
LinkedIn. Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time.
Wonderful
You
to
bet.
join you, Valerie. Take care.
Okay, yep, thanks. Bye.